So why is Teflon bad? Because you eat lots of microplastics. That's why Teflon is bad. Teflon was a huge moneymaker and a big revolutionary product when it first came out. And what DuPont really doesn't want you to know is that microplastics come out just by using your pan. And again, Teflon is bad for lots of different reasons, but the real reason that you should care about is because Teflon microplastics end up in lots of different parts of your body. Microplastics are just different kinds of plastic that are really, really tiny. One of those types of microplastics is Teflon. So when you see these big headlines about microplastics in your brain, Teflon is one type of microplastic that they're finding. There's a study just last year that even though they found way more polyethylene microplastics in semen, the Teflon microplastics were directly related to sperm quality, meaning the more Teflon microplastics a man had, the worse his sperm quality and ultimately the more infertile he was. They have found Teflon microplastics in placentas and amniotic fluid, and in both of those cases they were actually the prevalent polymer. And what's really worrisome about that is that we consume way more microplastics from other types of plastic. We consume way more polyethylene microplastics in our life, right? That is all your food safe plastic. But the fact that the Teflon microplastics are the ones with the highest amounts means that somehow the Teflon is remaining there. And it is very clear, using Teflon pans and cooking utensils puts Teflon microplastics into your food. Okay, and it doesn't have to be visibly scratched in order for that to come off. Okay, the older the pan, doesn't matter if you can see a scratch or not, the more microplastics are going to come off, because there have been lots of studies on that. And I also want to remind you, you might have tons of Teflon in your kitchen and you don't have any idea. But when people talk about don't use Teflon pans, it is not just that it will degrade into PFAS, the toxic forever chemical, which it very much will once it gets to a certain point, but it is also just those microplastics that are going into your body.